Hi everyone, I am TUGEND. Today I would like to present you some of the outcomes of my project Rift to Origin, the record of peri-Iberian margins. Being part of the Origin project, the idea was to investigate what controlled the variable structural style of orogens. The point of view I developed was to try and understand the influence of preconvergence rift structure. But why should we care about rift inheritance? Well, because more and more studies reveal the complexity and diversity of rifted margin structure in 2D as well as in 3D. I focused on the northern Bay of Biscay passive margin, which is located offshore western France, and I investigated the partitioning of extensional deformation, which can explain the passive margin segmentation previously described. Significant morphostructural changes are observed between the Western approach and Armorican passive margin segments, but where and how do they occur, and what is at the origin of these changes? To do so, I interpreted a series of reflection seismic lines across the Western approach and Armorican passive margin segments. The results of this mapping reveal a progressive lateral change in structural style, defining a relatively loose segment transition marked by a different accommodation of extensional deformation between the Western approach and Armorican segments, defining here the transfer zone roughly located here. Also, we observe an evolution of the décollement level from proximal to distal part of the margin, from being here located at mid-crustal level to being at the base of the crust in the distal margin. To sum up, the progressive change in structural style results from different accommodation of extensional deformation across a transfer zone. The location of this transfer zone do not seem to be random and seem to follow the trend of Variscan to post-Variscan structures observed further continentward. What are the implications for convergence? We observe an oceanward evolution of the nature and depth of décollement level in passive margin, implying that the rheological stratification of the crust and lithosphere evolved from the continent to the ocean. When we look at the mapping of the former rift system into the orogen, we observe that the distribution is not random. Distal domains, here in violet and green, are consistently interpreted in the internal part of the orogen. This suggests that the former rift structure plays a role during convergence and is also an important parameter to account for to understand collisional processes and the final structure of orogens. Thank you.